One of the most enduring and chilling urban legends in America involves the disappearing hitchhiker, a ghostly female figure who mysteriously vanishes from the passenger seat of a vehicle, leaving behind nothing but a sense of terror and confusion. This eerie tale has been reported in multiple locations across the United States, with a particular concentration along the historic Route 66 and the Appalachian region, where drivers have claimed to pick up a hitchhiker, only to find her gone before reaching their destination. While some dismiss this story as pure folklore, others believe it may be rooted in the darker history of real-life disappearances of women who were once hitchhiking along these same highways. Over the decades, countless truckers, motorists, and travelers have reported uncanny encounters with a mysterious hitchhiker, a ghost or spirit perhaps, seeking to complete an unfinished journey. But is there a supernatural explanation behind these strange occurrences? Or is there something more sinister at play? In this video, we will explore the chilling urban legend of the disappearing hitchhiker, examining the most famous encounters, possible explanations, and the true crime connections that may have inspired this haunting tale. From Route 66 to the Appalachian highways, join us as we delve into this spine-tingling mystery and uncover the truth behind one of America's most enduring ghost stories. The story of the disappearing hitchhiker, often referred to as the vanishing hitchhiker or ghostly passenger, is a tale that has been passed down through generations. While versions of the story vary depending on the region, the core elements remain the same. A driver, typically a truck driver or motorist, picks up a young woman who is hitchhiking along the highway. She is often described as being dressed in old-fashioned clothing, sometimes from a different era. She accepts the ride with a grateful smile, and the driver may engage in polite conversation during the journey. However, as the journey continues, the driver notices something strange. The hitchhiker, who was once sitting in the passenger seat, suddenly vanishes without a trace. The driver may stop to look around, only to find that there is no sign of her anywhere, no footprints in the dust, no trace left behind. In some versions of the story, the hitchhiker leaves behind an object, a scarf, a coat, or a book, as a clue to her presence. But no matter how hard the driver searches, the mysterious hitchhiker is gone, and the incident remains an unsolved mystery. The exact origins of this legend are unclear, but the disappearing hitchhiker has been reported in various locations, with some of the most famous cases occurring along Route 66, the historic highway that stretches from Chicago to Los Angeles, and in the Appalachian region, with its winding roads and dense forests. Some believe the legend dates back to the early days of the highway system, while others argue that it is a modern-day myth that has evolved over time. One of the most widely known and eerie reports of a disappearing hitchhiker occurred along Route 66 in the 1950s. A truck driver was making his way west, heading toward California, when he picked up a young woman who appeared to be in her early 20s. She was wearing an old-fashioned dress, and her hair was styled in a way that seemed out of place for the time. The woman seemed friendly but distant, and the driver struck up a conversation with her. During their ride, the woman gave the driver a cryptic message, saying she was headed to a specific town and that she needed to get there as soon as possible. As the driver neared the town, he glanced over at the passenger seat, only to find that the woman had vanished, leaving nothing but the smell of perfume in the air and a strange sense of coldness. The driver immediately stopped the truck and searched the area, but there was no sign of the woman. Disturbed and confused, he continued his journey, but when he arrived at the town, he was met with a chilling revelation. The young woman's name matched that of a local girl who had been killed in a car accident many years earlier on the very same stretch of road. This encounter is just one of many reported along Route 66 and other highways across the country. In some variations of the story, the hitchhiker is said to be a tragic figure, a woman who perished in a fatal accident while hitchhiking years or even decades before. Her spirit, some believe, continues to roam the roads, seeking to finish her journey or find peace. While the most famous reports of the disappearing hitchhiker occur along Route 66, the legend has also been widely reported in the Appalachian region of the United States, where dense forests and winding roads have long been associated with supernatural phenomena. The isolated nature of these areas, combined with the region's rich history of folklore, has made the disappearing hitchhiker a staple of Appalachian ghost stories. In one particularly haunting encounter, a driver traveling through the Appalachian Mountains picked up a young woman on a deserted highway. She was dressed in old-fashioned clothing and appeared to be lost or stranded. The driver gave her a ride, and they talked briefly about the area and her journey. As they neared a specific stretch of road, the woman suddenly went silent, and when the driver turned to look at her, she had vanished. He immediately pulled over, searching the area and calling for her, but there was no sign of the woman. It wasn't until much later that the driver learned of a local legend of a woman who had disappeared under similar circumstances many years ago. According to the tale, the woman had been killed in a car accident on that very stretch of road, and her spirit had been haunting the area ever since, appearing to unsuspecting travelers. While many people consider the story of the disappearing hitchhiker to be nothing more than an urban legend, there are several theories that attempt to explain the phenomenon, ranging from supernatural to psychological. The supernatural explanation. One of the most widely accepted theories is that the disappearing hitchhiker is a ghost or spirit of a woman who died tragically in a car accident or similar circumstance. Her spirit is said to remain on the highways, repeating her journey and appearing to drivers as a way to finish what she started. The vanishing act is often explained as the spirit being unable to fully manifest in the physical world, leading to her sudden disappearance. Psychological phenomenon. Some researchers believe that the disappearing hitchhiker may be a psychological phenomenon, driven by the mind's tendency to create or imagine experiences when placed in unfamiliar or stressful situations. This could explain why drivers report feeling disoriented or dizzy during these encounters, and why some even experience dissociative episodes during or after the encounter. Real-life disappearances. Another theory suggests that the disappearing hitchhiker legend could be connected to real-life disappearances of women who were hitchhiking along highways, particularly in the 1960s and 1970s, when hitchhiking was common. Some of these women may have been victims of crime, their disappearances never solved. The legend could have evolved as a way of explaining these unresolved cases, turning them into supernatural stories. In many versions of the story, the disappearing hitchhiker is associated with a curse, one that punishes anyone who attempts to take her. Some versions claim that anyone who picks up the ghostly hitchhiker will suffer misfortune, while others believe that the curse affects only those who try to find the treasure or hidden secrets she may have left behind. There are stories of drivers who have tried to revisit the scene of their encounter, only to experience bad luck or mysterious accidents. Some say the hitchhiker's curse will only allow the treasure to be found by someone pure of heart, while others suggest that only those who truly understand the hitchhiker's tragic fate can lift the curse. Despite the many theories and explanations, the mystery of the disappearing hitchhiker continues to captivate the imaginations of those who hear it. The legend persists in part because it taps into our deepest fears of the unknown. What happens when we encounter something we cannot explain? Why do these mysterious figures appear on desolate highways, seemingly out of nowhere, only to vanish just as quickly? As technology advances and we uncover more of the world's mysteries, some stories still remain untouched by logic. The story of the disappearing hitchhiker may be one of those stories, a mystery that will never be fully solved, but will continue to haunt the minds of those brave enough to travel these haunted roads. The disappearing hitchhiker is one of America's most enduring and unsettling urban legends. Whether you believe it's a ghostly apparition, a psychological phenomenon, or the result of real-life disappearances, the mystery of the vanishing hitchhiker continues to fascinate and terrify. Perhaps the hitchhiker is not just a ghost, but a warning, a reminder that there are things on the road in the darkness that we may never truly understand. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more chilling stories and unsolved mysteries.